everyone, and welcome back to today's podcast. My name is Jason, and I am very happy that you are here with me today. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for joining. And if you have been listening before, welcome back, my friend. In today's episode, we are going to talk about a very simple but very useful topic: my daily routine in English. Why are we talking about this? Well, daily routines are things that we all do every single day. We wake up, we eat, we go to work or school, and then we relax and sleep. These are normal activities in our life. But here is something important. When you can talk about your daily routine in English, you are already practicing useful words and sentences that help you sound more natural. Many times, in conversations, people ask simple questions like, "What do you do every day? What's your routine like? Can you tell me about your morning or your evening?" If you can answer these questions easily, you will feel more confident when speaking English. So today, I will share my daily routine with you. I will tell you what I do in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. I will use simple English words and sentences so that you can understand clearly. And at the end, I will also give you some tips on how you can practice talking about your own daily routine in English. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started with my daily routine in English. Before I share my daily routine, let's talk about why learning daily routine vocabulary is so important. Think about it. Every day, you wake up, you eat, you go to work, or maybe you go to school. These are common activities that happen in your life again and again. And because they happen every day, we talk about them a lot in conversations. For example, when you meet a new friend, they may ask you, "What do you usually do in the morning?" Or maybe in a job interview, someone may ask, "Can you describe a normal day in your life?" If you know the words and sentences to describe your routine, you can answer with confidence. Another reason is that daily routine vocabulary is practical. These are not rare or difficult words that you only use in books. These are real, everyday words. Words like wake up, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, go to work, cook dinner, watch TV, go to sleep. You can use these words in almost any conversation, and people will understand you clearly. Also, talking about your daily routine is a very good way to practice using the present simple tense in English. For example, we say, "I wake up at 7 o'clock. I eat breakfast. I go to work." These are simple sentences, but they help you practice grammar and speaking at the same time. Finally, learning daily routine vocabulary makes you feel more confident. Imagine you are speaking with someone, and they ask, "What do you do every day?" If you already know how to answer, you will not feel nervous. You can smile, speak clearly, and have a good conversation. So, my friend, learning this vocabulary is like building the foundation of a house. It is the first step to speaking English in a natural and easy way. All right, now that we know why daily routine vocabulary is important, let's start with my morning routine. Now, let me tell you about my morning routine. Morning is a very important part of the day because it sets the mood for everything that comes after. I usually wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Sometimes I wake up a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but 6:30 is my normal time. When I wake up, the first thing I do is turn off my alarm clock. I like to get out of bed right away, because if I stay in bed too long, I feel lazy and sleepy. After waking up, I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth and wash my face. This makes me feel fresh and ready for the day. Many people also take a shower in the morning. Sometimes I take a shower in the morning, but sometimes I take it at night. It depends on how I feel. After that, I go to the kitchen to prepare my breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. I usually eat something simple but healthy. For example, I eat eggs, bread, and fruit. Sometimes I eat oatmeal or cereal with milk. And of course, I drink a cup of coffee. Coffee helps me wake up fully and gives me energy. While I eat my breakfast, I often like to listen to something in English. Sometimes I listen to the news, sometimes I listen to a podcast, and sometimes I listen to music. This is a small way to practice English every day. After breakfast, I prepare myself for work. I take a shower if I did not take one before, and then I get dressed. I usually wear something simple but comfortable. If I have an important meeting, I wear formal clothes. Next, I check my bag and make sure I have everything I need for the day. I usually carry my laptop, my phone, and a notebook. Finally, around 8 o'clock, I leave my home and start my commute. Commute means the time we spend traveling from home to work or school. I usually go to work by bus. Sometimes the bus is full, so I like to listen to an audiobook or podcast while I travel. This makes the time go faster, and it is also a chance to learn something new. So, to summarize, my morning routine is like this. I wake up at 6:30. I brush my teeth and wash my face. I eat breakfast and drink coffee. I get dressed and prepare my bag. I leave home and go to work by bus. That is my normal morning routine. It is simple, but it helps me start the day in a good way. Now, let's move on to my afternoon routine. The afternoon is usually the busiest part of my day, because this is when I am working or studying. I usually start my work in the morning, but by the afternoon, I am fully focused. In the afternoon, I spend a lot of time on my computer. I write emails, attend meetings, and work on different projects. Sometimes I also talk with my colleagues about ideas or problems we need to solve. If I am teaching or learning, the afternoon is the time for classes and lessons. Around 12:30 or 1 o'clock, I usually take a break for lunch. Lunch is very important because it gives me energy for the rest of the day. I don't like to eat very heavy food at lunch because it makes me sleepy. Instead, I try to eat something light and healthy, like chicken with vegetables, a sandwich, or rice with salad. And of course, I drink water or sometimes tea. After lunch, I like to take a short break. If I have time, I might go for a short walk outside. Walking helps me feel fresh again. Sometimes, if I don't have much time, I just sit quietly and rest for 10 or 15 minutes. Then, I go back to work. In the early afternoon, I usually focus on the most important tasks. This is the time when I have more energy, so I try to finish the difficult work first. For example, if I need to write something, prepare a lesson, or work on a big project, I do it in the early afternoon. In the later afternoon, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock, I often do smaller tasks. These could be replying to emails, making phone calls, or organizing my notes. I feel less energy at this time, so I try not to do very hard work. Sometimes, in the afternoon, I also meet friends or do small errands. Errands mean little jobs you do outside, like buying groceries, going to the bank, or picking up something from a store. I try to do these quickly so I can go home and relax later. So, to summarize my afternoon routine, I work or study on my computer. I take lunch around 1 o'clock. I rest or take a short walk. I continue working on important tasks. I finish the afternoon with smaller jobs or errands. That is my afternoon routine. It is usually busy, but I try to stay organized and make good use of my time. Now, let's talk about my evening routine. The evening is one of my favorite parts of the day because it is the time when I can relax, spend time with family, and recharge my energy after a busy day. Usually, I finish work around 6 o'clock. After that, I pack my things, leave the office, and travel back home. My commute in the evening is almost the same as in the morning. I usually take the bus, and sometimes it is crowded. To make the time easier, I listen to music, a podcast, or sometimes I just sit quietly and think about my day. When I arrive home, the first thing I like to do is wash my hands and face. This helps me feel fresh again after being outside. Then, I usually change into more comfortable clothes. I don't want to stay in formal or work clothes at home. Comfortable clothes help me feel relaxed. In the evening, I spend some time with my family. Sometimes we sit together and talk about our day. We share what happened at work, at school, or outside. This is a nice way to connect with each other. Dinner time is usually around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Dinner is a very important meal for me because it is not only about eating, but also about enjoying time with family or friends. For dinner, I usually eat rice, vegetables, chicken, or fish. Sometimes we also enjoy pasta, soup, or traditional dishes. And of course, we drink water or tea with our meal. After dinner, I usually relax. Sometimes I watch TV or a movie. Other times, I read a book or check social media. Watching something in English is also a good way for me to practice the language. I enjoy watching short videos or documentaries that are interesting and educational. Sometimes, in the evening, I also like to exercise. If the weather is nice, I go for a walk outside. If not, I do some light exercise at home, like stretching or yoga. Exercise helps me reduce stress and sleep better at night. Around 9 or 9:30, I prepare for the next day. I check my bag, write down important tasks, or make a small to-do list. This helps me stay organized and ready for tomorrow. So, to summarize my evening routine, I finish work and travel home. I change into comfortable clothes. I spend time with family and eat dinner. I relax by watching TV, reading, or exercising. I prepare for the next day. That is my evening routine. It is a mix of relaxing, spending time with loved ones, and getting ready for tomorrow. Now, let's talk about my night routine. Night is the time when I slow down, relax completely, and prepare for sleep. Usually, around 10 o'clock, I start my night routine. The first thing I do is brush my teeth and wash my face. Good hygiene is very important before going to bed. Sometimes I also take a quick shower if I feel tired or sweaty from the day. After that, I like to spend a little quiet time for myself. Sometimes I read a book. Reading helps me calm down and also improves my knowledge. If I don't feel like reading, I sometimes listen to soft music or a short podcast. Another thing I do at night is reflect on my day. I think about what went well, what I finished, and what I can do better tomorrow. Sometimes I write these thoughts in a small notebook. This helps me clear my mind before sleeping. I try not to use my phone too much at night because the light from the screen makes it harder to sleep. Instead, I prefer quiet activities like reading or meditation. Meditation helps me relax my body and mind. Finally, around 11 o'clock, I go to bed. I turn off the lights, put my phone away, and try to sleep. I usually sleep for about 7 to 8 hours because good sleep is very important for health and energy. So, my night routine is simple. Brush my teeth and wash my face. Read or listen to something relaxing. Reflect on my day. Go to bed around 11 o'clock. That is my normal night routine, and it helps me feel ready for the next day. Now that I have shared my daily routine, let's talk about you. How can you practice talking about your own daily routine in English? The good news is, it's very simple. You don't need difficult words or long sentences. You just need to practice a little every day. Let me share some easy tips with you. First, make a list of your activities. Think about what you do in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. For example, wake up, brush teeth, eat breakfast, go to school, study, eat dinner, go to bed. Write these activities in English. Second, put them into short sentences. For example, I wake up at 7 o'clock. I eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. I go to work by bus. I watch TV in the evening. These are simple sentences, but they are correct and clear. Third, practice speaking out loud. Read your sentences to yourself every day. You can stand in front of a mirror and say them, or you can record your voice on your phone. Listening to your own voice helps you improve your pronunciation and confidence. Finally, try to share your routine with someone. You can tell a friend, a teacher, or even write about it online. The more you use these words, the more natural they will feel. So remember, make a list, write short sentences, speak out loud, and share with others. If you do this often, very soon you will be able to talk about your daily routine in English with confidence. So, my friend, we have talked about my morning, afternoon, evening, and night routine. We also talked about why learning this vocabulary is important and how you can practice your own routine. Now, I want to leave you with some motivation. Learning English is a journey. Sometimes it feels easy. Sometimes it feels difficult. But remember this: even small steps every day can make a big difference. Talking about your daily routine is one of those small steps. When you practice your daily routine in English, you are not only learning new words, but also building confidence. You are telling your story in your own words, and that is powerful. Maybe today you can only say a few sentences. That's okay. Tomorrow you will be able to say more. Step by step, your English will grow. So don't be shy. Practice every day. Use simple words. Speak slowly. And be proud of yourself, because every time you practice, you are improving. Always remember, English is not about perfection. It is about communication. If people understand you, that is already success. Keep going, keep practicing, and very soon, you will be able to talk about not only your daily routine, but also your dreams, your goals, and your ideas, all in English. All right, my friend, that's the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to my daily routine in English. I hope this episode helped you learn some new words and gave you ideas for how to talk about your own routine. Now it's your turn. Take a little time today and practice saying your daily routine in English. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you will become. Thank you again for spending this time with me. Stay positive, keep learning, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.